Hi, you guys. It's Kelly again. This is for all the people that think that what's happening right now with Roe versus Wade, women losing their right to do as they choose with their bodies, whether they want to carry a baby full term and actually take care of that baby, and they're not married or in a relationship, but they're pregnant with a child. Those that are pregnant and chose to give the baby up for adoption to give that baby a better life, those that are pregnant but want to abort the baby and what have you should have the right to choose that. My whole stance is I'm pro-choice. It is not my place nor my right to tell anyone, any woman, what to do with her body. I don't care what her size is. I don't care what the color of her skin is, her religious background if she has one. If she wants to do any of those things, she can, and she won't be judged by me for doing so. I don't understand. I don't. It's not my place. But I encountered someone today on my former foster sister's status update that she did about people who were forced to get vaccinated. She's like, I don't want to hear it from people who were forced to get vaccinated to tell me that they're my body, my choice type thing. And I explained to Mr. Um, Joe Holt that the next thing to be affected, the next people, groups of people to be affected are the LGBTQ plus community and the indigenous children. Now, the next course of action to be looked over is the Indigenous Children's Protections Act, which states that CPS cannot physically take any child who is Indigenous from their family without any proof of sexual assault, neglect, physical abuse, emotional abuse without any sort of documentation or proof of that. If the Indigenous Children's Protections Act gets put on the chopping block and is taken away, then um, there's going to be a lot of protests. There's going to be a lot of angry Indigenous families that are having to step forward and protest, just like women are right now. I don't find his expression to this funny. He seems to not understand the grasp of what's happening because everybody's going to be affected. I don't care if you're black, if you're white, if you're Asian, if you're Hispanic, if you're indigenous, if you're mixed, everybody's going to be heavily affected by this. Women no longer have the choice to choose what they can and can't do with their bodies. They're being told you can't have abortions now. It's against the law. We have people who are pro life saying that once you conceive that baby and it has a heartbeat, there's a life in there. That baby that's inside you should not lose its life under any circumstance. Well, let me put it to you like this. What if it was a child that was sexually assaulted and became pregnant and they can't physically carry a baby full term because of the way their body is? Would you still want that child to lose its life so that the baby can survive? Because to me, if a child is sexually assaulted, if she is sexually assaulted and she becomes pregnant, she should have the right to say, I want an abortion so that I can survive. Um, it's not funny. It's not a joke. All of them, all the people that are partaking in this in the political field are having their tower moment and they don't want to suffer. But they want those that they are going after to suffer big time. You go after the women. The women have been saying this. And when I say the women, I mean the black women and the indigenous women have been saying this for years. They were forced to be sterilized so that they couldn't have children. Well, now they want those that are pregnant to be prosecuted or have jail time for trying to end their abortions, or they want to have dogs that sniff out the hormone that tells them when they're pregnant because they want to stop these abortions. They want to stop women from going to other states to have these abortions. They want to stop contraception, birth control. So, well, if a woman decides not to have kids, she can use birth control, pills, IUDs. They're taking away the right for them to have hysterectomies, have their tubes tied. They want to breed more children, breed out a specific group of people so that they can control those babies when they're adults. They want to take indigenous children away from their families so that they can learn the white man's way of religion, which is Christianity. You are looking at a former foster youth who was in foster care from age 11 to age 18. I am now 35, 36 years old. I did not get to see my parents when I wanted. I was restricted in doing so. I was not taught my culture, my heritage till I got older. I'm just now learning to embrace who I am as an indigenous, two-spirited, bisexual woman. And I'll be damned if I'm going to have somebody tell me what I can and can't do with my body or what I can and can't do with my spouse behind closed doors. Because now, not only are they going after the LGBTQ plus community, women of all shapes, sizes, and colors, they are going to go after your medical history. The doctor client confidentiality agreement that you have with your doctor. They want that to be public, which means it would go into your general health, your family history, any history of disease, illness, your sex life with your partner if you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, husband or wife, random different sex partners. They want to know all of that so they can monitor you. They want to take control of everybody and they want everyone to suffer. I just don't see how people like Mr. Joe Holt find this funny because it's not funny. This is reality. It's all over the internet. It's on TikTok. It's on Google. It's everywhere. And yet, someone, the FCC, wants to take away TikTok because they don't want this information shared with everybody. They want it to be kept on the down low. And that's not going to work. What else needs to happen for people like Joe to understand that this is reality and that it's not bullshit? It's not a joke. It's not funny. See, you'll give up part of your privacy just to feel a little secure. Guess what, Joe? You and others like you are not part of the big club. There is a big club where people who are rich and famous are part of the political realm, get to do and say shit and not have consequences for it. They can do whatever they want, have no harm done. Yet, those of us that are not part of the big club have to pay taxes, have to, abide by the government because government puts restrictions on people. That's what's happening. We're all being restricted in some way. There's a modern day genocide going on within the indigenous communities around the US and around the world. There are over 10,000 unmarked graves of little kids, little babies that have been found in Canada. And it's only going to increase from here because there's multiple churches, multiple residential schools that have yet to be looked at. That number is going to continue to climb. So you want to sit here and laugh behind your keyboard or laugh behind your phone and think this shit's funny. It's not funny. Many of those children were not brought home to their families. They didn't come back alive. They're dead. They're dead. These kids were sold for $10 in the 1920s. You could buy a native child for $10 and do with what you want with that child. No repercussions, no nothing. These children were starved, they were beaten, they were sexually assaulted, they were made fun of because they wanted to live their way of life. And if they did not agree to speak English as their first language and learned Christianity, they were beaten. They were beaten. And they were beaten so bad that they ended up dying. And then they got buried underneath the residential school, and the residential school attendants, teachers, and nuns, and what have you, would tell the parents that their child got sick, when that wasn't really the truth. Those parents and other family members were told lies. This is what they want to do with today's indigenous children. They want to recreate that just so that they can have extra money, fill their pockets. It's not like they don't fill their pockets now with tax dollars. They give you all these false promises. Oh, I'll make the state better. I'll make the city better. I'll protect the citizens. Yeah, bullshit. You just want to line your pockets with their tax dollars, live this lavish lifestyle, and have this false image of reality that you want to create. Because you want to fill your pockets with their money and be selfish. This is why I don't vote. They don't care about us. They don't give a shit about anybody. I don't care if you're black, white, indigenous, mixed, Asian, Hispanic. They don't care. They want power and control. That's all they want. They don't care about anything else. The other sad thing about this is many black women and many indigenous women have been telling us about this for years. A lot of us didn't want to listen because we didn't think it was going to be a reality. Now it is. And now we have the white women coming to native and black women saying, help us. We want to help you. Yeah. How come you didn't listen to us to begin with when we told you it was going to be a reality? We've got corrupted officials, corrupted uh, police stations, police departments, corrupted officials within city and state and county. CPS is corrupt because it's all a big money grab. You create this false story or these false allegations because you want to line your pockets with money. You go after the parents that don't deserve it, but you don't go after the ones that need to be punished and have their child taken away. How does any of this make sense? How? Please explain to me why you think it's funny and why you think I'm full of shit. This is just the beginning. I want to see if you'll still be laughing if they take away your right to privacy between you and your doctor and what you do in your bedroom with your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other. Would you still find it funny? Because it's not funny no more. You got a whole bunch of pissed off people that want to go riot and raise hell with the Supreme Court and those in Congress. These people don't have term limits. They're on there till they drop. Please have this make sense, because I'm still baffled that someone like Joe finds this shit funny and tells me I'm full of shit when it's right there in front of you and you're not even doing the research that you need to do to see what's happening, how it affects everybody. You can go live in your little bubble and be in denial all you want. It's going to hit you you right in the face. Because me trying to explain this to you, you obviously aren't taking it serious. Because if you were taking it seriously, you wouldn't have left a laughing emoji at two of my comments that I tried to explain what the fuck was going to be happening, who was going to be hit next. You just sat there and laughed at it and said I was delusional. I've been paying attention. I've been watching those that are heavily affected by this let out their anger via TikTok. Where you're going to stand once it hits you, once you get affected, because once it hits, you ain't going to find it funny no more. Do yourself, do everyone else a favor, act mature, act your age, not your shoe size, and stop being immature. Because you're making yourself look stupid. Alright? Thanks. Bye. Sorry, you guys. It's just this specific person is getting on my nerves and wants to act delusional. Doesn't want to act his age. He would rather act his shoe size rather than his actual age. So I would suggest that you look up the Indigenous Children's Protections Act, Roe versus Wade, if you want to learn more about what's happening and how it affects everyone. Then we can have a civil conversation. But until then, stay in your little bubble, okay? All right. Thanks. Bye.